Burch has a brand new documentary. It's called Kings of the Forest. He also has a brand new book, Sweat Working, the mastery guide to revolutionizing your life and professional relationships through wellness. Please welcome our friend, Mr. Sean Burch. Hello, sir.
Hello. Grateful to be here.
I love when you come in, but you also make me very mad.
Thank you.
You know what it is? I get very angry. I get very angry. No, because I'm envious. That's my problem. I'm envious because we always get into this conversation where I love that you've been on top of Everest. I'm obsessed with wanting to just see the top of Everest. And then every time when you come in, I'm like, I could be like Sean. But you've done that, and I love that. And it's not just that; it's all the lifestyle and everything. I get very envious of it, but I love that you do all the things that you do.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice not to go on expeditions and not having to shower for 30, 40, 50 days. I enjoy that as well.
By the way, that's the one part that I could get done. I just found.
I figured you'd gravitate towards that part of that. That's why I mentioned it.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Like when you go Elliot, don't be stupid. There's no showers up on the mountains. Yeah. You're not doing any of that.
Yeah, no. I kind of, that's part of the expedition that I enjoy the most. It's really simplistic, right? You have mountains to climb, and that's the goal. You don't have to worry about your mortgage payments. You don't have to worry about your phone. You don't have to worry about anything else. You just worry about the goal at hand, whatever mountain that day I was choosing to climb. And then on long expeditions, Everest is right in front of you. You just sit there, and every day I would just meditate on, okay, just get to the top, safely and back down.
What is the longest expedition you've done?
The longest one I've done was probably across Nepal. I did it in that was 49 days.
So you went 50 days without a shower.
But when I was on the Nat Geo show, I think I did 69 days without.
Oh, did you? That was 68. The Iditarod show, right?
No, it was Ultimate Survival Alaska. They took us around Alaska competing against each other. Like I competed against Navy SEALs and Native Alaskans and all. And
that was 69 days without a shower.
Yeah.
And no brushing your teeth.
No, I brush my teeth.
Oh, please.
I'm not uncivilized.
I haven't scrubbed my nuts in a month, but I'm brushing my teeth.
Yes.
Yeah. But wait, you know what? So I was reading your book. First of all, it took me about an hour to get through the title. Yeah. So that part was good. No, but did we know this, or do I just not remember? You didn't start climbing until you were in your late 20s?
Yeah.
Like you didn't climb your first mountain until you were 29?
29, yeah.
Is that a late start?
Very late start. Yeah. I mean, I'd always wanted to climb, but then, there's not too many high altitude peaks in Virginia. So it was kind of a goal I'd set for myself. And then suddenly, I had a really special relationship with my grandfather when he passed away. He was kind of like, you got to live your life and do everything you've always wanted to do. And that kind of hit it home to me when he died that, he's right. I got to start doing these things. So I just said, I'm going to go climb Everest, and I'm going to figure out how to do it. And I started climbing smaller peaks, and I found out that I was really good at it. I was already teaching fitness.
Right.
So I was already in shape. So I was working out every single day for hours on end. And then when I got to high altitude, I just really found that I excelled at it, and it just kind of steamrolled from there.
So is that what got you to, because you're right, and you do mention that your grandfather had said, you got to go live life. Like, go live life. And like you said, you were already working out and you were a fitness guy and all that.
Yeah.
But was the thing that got you to being a mountaineer, was it just Everest? Was that it?
No. It was just, I used to read books on their hardship and what they went through. And I needed that. I thought I was soft. And I thought that in order for me to grow as an individual, I needed to put myself through the strenuous, let's say, types of activities such as mountaineering, that I would learn more about myself. And I always liked hiking. I wasn't a climber. So when I started mountaineering, I was like, oh, I really like this. And then it just kind of steamrolled from there. And the more I got on the mountains, the more I just found that that's where I felt at home the most.
Because you're afraid of heights.
Yes, very much so.
But you'll sleep. You've told us stories in the past where you'll sleep on like a cliff. Or like a ledge in a sleeping bag where it's 6 inches and you're going down.
Yeah, mostly when I'm climbing, I don't sleep. I try more stable area. But when I'm climbing, I mean, there's a couple photos from high altitude peaks that I've done that are just like right on the edge. I just don't look down. I just look my camera and take a picture, but I don't look at it,
But what do you do? Like the one image that comes to mind, not that you've done, but like just being afraid of heights is. I feel like everybody has seen the picture of that ladder on Everest where you walk across the ladder. And I mean, I have no idea what that drop is like. Like I don't know that I'm afraid of heights, but I have this thing where if I'm up high on something, I want to jump off of it. I don't know what that's called. And I obviously never would, but I would never be able to walk across that ladder. Like I that's what's preventing me, honestly, from Everest. I would never be able to do. If you're afraid of heights, how do you walk across that ladder?
That's a great point. I mean, I was thinking when I got to the first big crevasse that I was crossing, I was like, oh my God. I looked down. I was like, how am I going to do this? I have to do it 7-8 times up and down. And I just said, hey, you know what? I've got to go. I've got to do it. I've got to do it. So I just didn't look down. And, when I have some film and stuff like that from some of my last films, I just put the video camera down, but I wasn't looking. I was just looking straight across. I never looked down because I thought probably like you, I would freak out.
Right. But you don't have to look down, but you're on a ladder with thousands of feet beneath you. Like you can look wherever you want. You know what's there.
Be completely present. That's how you do it.
Hey, so get me to the book. I remember Hyper Fitness was the last one. So sweat working, and you go through like all of these disciplines to have in order to network, but through different ways of getting that done.
Correct. Yeah, I didn't come up with the name sweat working. I was actually reading an article a couple of years ago, and I think it was in Men's Health about oh, this is how you work. How you network is you exercise together, and we call it sweat work. And I was like, well, I've been doing this for 20 years. So I looked it up. I did research. I was like, there's not a single book about it. So I started writing the book about how do you go about doing that? If you're an HR executive, if you want to work with your team, how do you go about doing every single little thing? And that's what I started to do, is just start outlining it so anybody can implement this into their company and also for themselves, start exercising.
Do people like from now that the book is out, do people are companies, because in the book you even talk about like, hey, reach out to us. Are companies starting to do that where it's like, let's find ways to incorporate sweat working instead of networking? Yeah,
it's out there with bigger companies. It's out there, but I want to do it for all companies.
Right.
As kind of a way to say, hey, this is a normal thing that you do. It's like everyone goes to conferences and things like that. I've been to hundreds of those things doing speeches, and a lot of those times they walk around like they're zombies. They're just done with it, the happy hour and stuff. I'm trying to make it more interesting, kind of a way to say, hey, let's do movement instead. So, yeah, I want to implement it into all companies, not just larger companies. So that's why I give that outline of how to go about doing that.
But what's the easy way to get started?
To get started in sweat working?
Yeah, exactly.
Buy the book. I'll tell you how to do it. That's why I don't have to answer you. I'll give you the link.
No, but what I'm saying is I could see somebody going like, in theory, great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea. In
implementation.
In implementing it, not so easy to do.
Yeah, that's why in the book I literally outline it. Talk to you. Here's how do you do when you pitch it to your bosses.
Right.
Here's what to say. Here's the benefits of doing that. And then from there, here's your first session. Here's what I would recommend, like a walking session, or, if you're at a conference, maybe do a session at a museum, but do something active. I find that connections are much more meaningful when you do that, not at a happy hour where 30 or 40 minutes you've had 3 or 4 drinks and you just, you forget the person and you forget what you even talk about. I have found the most meaningful relationships on the mountains and in fitness classes,
right,
bar none. So that's what I'm trying to do with the book.
And then one of the other things you talk about in the book is that everybody needs to have a moral code.
Yeah.
Or it has a moral code, but you should write it down.
Yeah.
Do you do that?
And stick to it. Well, I know it by, my moral code is very deep in everything I do. So I don't need to write it down anymore. But that's one of my things is everyone needs a moral code. And if you don't have it, because I've asked people that, when I've done leadership classes and work with executives, like, what's your moral code? And it kind of startles them. It's almost like, same thing as what are your goals? yourself personal goals for 5 or 10 years out. It's the same thing. They go, I never really thought about it. Well, find that moral code and stick to it no matter what.
And you say like read it like when you first do it, write it down.
Yeah.
And just keep updating it and add to it and make it a living document.
Yep.
And then make sure you read it and make sure you remember it. And if you have to do it every day until you're you and you remember it or add something to it.
Yep.
But that, but it gets back to the same thing. Like moral code. Like I think I'm a halfway decent person. Like, okay, but I wouldn't even know what to write down.
Yeah, well, see, there you go. You don't know. That's
but like even when you said like, what are you going to do in 5 years? I'm sit in this goddamn chair.
Yeah, I know, but you have goals. I'm sure personal goals. You have to dig deeper than that. You know, you're on this earth for only a certain amount of time.
You stress that. You really stress that.
I really stress that, especially now. Especially I mean, you travel around the world and you see how the world plays out within different countries. And you really have to have this strict moral code and stick to it, because the biggest thing that bothers me is this authenticity. I talk about in the book. I call it genuineness, not authenticity, because everyone throws that. I'm so authentic, or what we're posting is so authentic. It's so much overused that authenticity is done. So my thing is start with that moral code with yourself and then stick with that. What
was the first thing you wrote down? When you were creating your own moral code, or like you said, I know my moral code. Like if it were a pyramid, what is the big one at the base?
Resilience, perseverance, honesty, right? My word's my word. Those are major components to my thing. If I say I'm going to do something, I'll do it. I don't like to quit. So that's a big thing that's helped me on expeditions. If I set myself a goal, I won't stop until it's done. No matter what. I don't, the pain or the hardship that goes through it, and that kind of drives that.
Yeah, but don't you also have to, now I'm going to talk you out of your moral code. No, but also you have to be smart. I'm assuming you have found yourself in situations on a mountain or wherever it is, and you're like, I don't want to quit, but I'm also going to die if I keep going.
Yeah, I've turned around. Yeah, but it's still.
It kills you,
But
doesn't
when you start an expedition, whatever it is, or any goal, you have to believe 100% that you will complete the goal. So every expedition I start or every mountain I climb for that particular day, if I'm doing first ascents, I think I'm going to reach that top. But of course, as you go, things change, weather changes, and then you reevaluate. Am I sticking to my moral code? If I turn around, yes, because if I don't, I'm probably going to die. Sure, yeah. But if I try my best, if I'm working my hardest, then outside forces, let's say weather, then I can live with that. I just can't live with me quitting or going average. I don't want to. Life is too important. Never be average. Never be average. I'm always trying to learn to be a better person every single day.
And the other thing, like you talk about, like life is you only get one life, and that's it. And you do talk about the how you use time, right?
Yeah.
No, because we have that conversation all the time. Is like time's all the same. It's just how do you manage it? But you almost go like a step further than that. Of everybody makes an excuse, but you make time.
Correct. I have many people. I just don't have the time. So I'll go, okay, let's allocate that time. How many hours in a day? Okay, what means that? What means something to you? Okay, so you have to allocate it. That's why with sweat working, I'm trying to if we get companies forces the wellness on you, forces the movement, then you will see the benefits of it, and then from there you can take it on and have it evolve in your own life and improve your own life. But it's that initial part of getting you to exercise, getting you to move, to see those benefits of it. But you've got to have, back to the time, you've got to find the time, because everyone has the same 24 hours.
Right.
And I've never heard somebody say, I've got too much time every single day. I've never heard that. So it's like, yes, I know the fact, but find the time, whatever it is.
Do you ever have a day though where you just lay on the couch and eat Chinese food?
I have days where I relax, but I don't sit on I don't take a day off from exercising. No,
never.
If I can do it. If I'm traveling, then yeah, but I'll still walk at that night, or I'll walk an hour.
You walk after every meal.
After every meal.
I
do.
Fart walk. But you do it.
Burp and fart walk. Yeah, sure.
No, but you say that like after every meal, you walk.
Yeah, I mean, if you live in my town, you'll see me walking every day. So that's me. I'm sure people make fun of it because it's like, this guy's out there no matter what. Yeah, but I love it. It makes me feel good. makes helps with digestion,
Hey,
sets the tone.
Will you explain something in the book, which I thought was really good? Rich cars. Will you explain that?
Yeah, it's just having it's a kind of a way to look if you don't have that moral code to use rich cars as a component of that. So go through those things. It's just a way to remember it, and then try to implement those things into your life. Again, if you don't have the moral code, I give you a guidance for you to find that moral code, whatever that is.
Right.
Yeah.
Then a couple of other things that I learned by the way, Dunkin' Donuts just got here. Do you want a donut?
I'm okay.
When's the last time you had a donut?
Ooh. Oh. I don't know. That's a good question. 30 years?
30 years?
You haven't had a donut in 30 years?
30 years? No, I don't eat desserts usually, yeah. And I do actually.
By the way, good news.
No,
good news. No,
I do.
These are breakfast.
Oh, okay.
These are breakfast.
No, I do. On my birthday and on my son's birthday, because you met Hans a couple years ago, we get a cake and we split it. He eats half of it and I
throw the other half out.
No, we each eat half a cake and then we feel terrible for the rest of the night. But yeah, it's like a tradition.
But you haven't. You literally have not had a donut.
I haven't eaten. I think the only thing I was in Norway in '96 was the last time I had a donut. Trying to think. Yeah, I think so. When I started mountaineering.
Norway of '96 was the last.
It was
donut.
in Norway in the Arctic Circle. I was on a boat. And I said, "Here's the time." I don't remember.
But is it like that's donuts, right? Which, by the way, you have no idea what you're missing.
No, I do.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. But like, will you eat junk food at all?
No, I try not to.
Oh my God.
What's your junk food?
On my
quinoa with salt.
No, we know he houses peanut butter.
Well, I eat the peanut butter.
Yes.
Right, a jar
but
a
I don't
day,
consider that junk food.
Like an animal.
I do. I eat a lot of peanut butter, but on the birthday stuff, I will buy a pizza, eat a pizza. My son buys a pizza, he eats a pizza. That's
once a year.
Yeah, once or twice a year.
How
New
great
Year's,
is pizza? How great
oh my
is
God,
pizza?
it's so freaking.
It's awesome.
It's so good.
Right.
It's like crack.
Yeah, no, it
Not
really
that I've had crack, but I've heard it's like crack. If this is crack, it's pretty darn good.
Wait, so you eat a pizza twice a year?
Yeah, a whole pizza. Yeah, and I could eat more. I mean, I could eat 2 or 3. I mean, it is bottomless.
Oh yeah, of
yeah,
course
it's so good.
I was just complaining the other day that it had been a week since I had pizza.
You're jonesing. You're twitching. You knew something was wrong. Oh,
yeah.
Pizza. Yeah.
That's part of my moral code.
Yeah,
is I have to eat. That's so bad.
Write it down. Write that down now.
That's the base of your pyramid.
Empathy. Oh, that's the base. Yeah. On top of that is like empathy and try not to lie. That much. Yes. But now, in fairness, you weren't always like that.
No. Being the Gen X generation, I think I was always searching growing up, searching for something what I didn't know, but always,
You tell a story in the book. Well, actually, you know what? Before we get to that, there's a couple of things that came out of the book about you personally that I didn't know. Mm-hmm. You're shy.
Oh, yeah. Really shy. If I get in front of, it's like a presentation, I'm in front of people, I can be myself, but normally, yeah, I'm not really open with people about, things because I don't think they understand. If I tell them a story, again, going to a conference,
right?
Some happy hour about, an expedition. They're like, oh, that sounds interesting. They just have no clue of what it's like. So I don't bother even talking about it. So I kind of lay back and don't even talk about it at all, or anything.
No, but I get from your side, listen, I don't know what it would be like to be on an expedition, but it doesn't mean it's not fascinating. I would love to hear about it. So it doesn't mean that it's not fascinating to somebody.
I know you like it. See, I can feel that. But when I go to a conference and there's some guy going, "Oh, really? I'm like, you climbed a first ascent? What's that?" As soon as I say it, I'm like, oh, okay. It's fine. I'm not asking them to know it, but I'm thinking like, okay, this is going to be, though it sounds exciting, it sounds dangerous,
Right.
Why do you do it? That kind of stuff.
But when you talk about that, you say that not only are you shy, but you're also hesitant to make new friends.
Yeah. Yeah, I trust is a big thing with me. It's part of my moral code, and I don't I think part of my job, I don't trust a lot of people. I've just been disappointed so many times with with their word, right? Yeah, we're going to do this or we're going to do that, and then they don't follow through. Get very disappointed. So lack of trust. I'd much rather have someone doesn't want to do it, just say, hey, I'm not going to do this.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. I can take that. But this ghosting stuff and all that kind of, it just eats me up inside. So I just don't trust people.
Because I wondered if it was, like when I first read that, is whether it was because of who you are, where you don't, the trust thing I get, because to trust somebody literally is to put your life in their hands. The like, if Diane does something, is it going to piss me off? Can we get in trouble with the FCC? Yeah, we can do all of that, but I'm not going to fall to my death. Like when you trust, whatever your Diane is, you could die.
Yep. No, you're exactly right. That's why I do stuff solo. Yeah, you know it. I mean, I was thinking, well, if I'm roped to somebody, I got to put my trust in their hands. So if they fall off or they slip, then I can go down with them if I don't belay them. So I'm thinking, oh, forget it. I'd rather just do it myself. So I have no regrets. If I go in here, if I die, it's my own fault. But yeah, you hit it right on the nail right there.
But do you also feel that going the other way is somebody's putting that much trust in you and you don't want that burden?
No, if I'm guiding somebody, I've guided people on some high altitude.
Right.
I enjoy that because I'm seeing them reach their goals and seeing them do things that they've never done before. I get more excitement about that.
Of watching them.
Yeah. Oh, I love that because they just think, I didn't think I could do it. And they're doing it, you know? That really excites me because then they realize what they're capable of doing in life. And this is hopefully just the start for them. And climbing a mountain or climbing a high peak is a good way to start that, of what you're capable of doing.
So does it bother you that every time I talk to you, I tell you we're going to go climb together and I never do it?
You know what? That's a good segment right in that segment because, yes, exactly right. We need to get you on a peak. And I talked to Tyler about that earlier. I was like, we got to talk about, doing the Shasta, Mount Shasta or something like that.
Where is that?
That's in California. It's a volcano. It's about over 14,000, but it has snow, has good terrain where you can put on crampons.
Right.
So you can learn a lot about mountaineering, but it's not, to me, too dangerous, even though
to you.
I did send the link. Someone did die on there. September. Some tech bro died. So, which is very unfortunate. So,
right.
But
but if I told you, I was like, I would love to do it. I really would. I just don't. I know.
You're perfect, man.
I don't have the time.
Yeah, see it. It's not on my moral code list. We've got to get you on a peak. I've been working on this for what I think
14 years.
14 years.
Yes.
And it's going to happen.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. Yeah.
We're chipping away
I
at
know.
it.
Yeah.
We're chipping away.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing that I want to bring up, and don't be mad at me. Well, it's in the book. You can't be mad at me. You talk about a real dark part of your life, which I don't think you'd ever shared with us. About a long 4 years, you were going through a nasty separation and a nasty divorce.
Yeah.
You felt like you had failed.
Yeah.
And you took a job at a wellness resort in China. And how did you end up going to China?
They contacted me. They had a wellness director that had quit. I should have contacted him first. He was based in Hong Kong. And they asked me if I wanted to think about doing the position. And at that time, we were going through a tough time with my ex-wife. And I just kind of said, oh, this could be great. Wellness director, I could teach people about fitness, because they would look at dumbbells and be like, oh, like they didn't know what it was.
Right.
And a Bosu ball, they would be like, oh, foreign to me. So I took the job and then went over to, it's called Mission Hills Resort, and just outside Hong Kong, about an hour and a half, and stayed there for about a year. And it was so painful, because I left my son, and I kind of just instead of facing it, I just wanted to separate myself from it and thought that would help, but it only made it worse, made it real bad.
You talk about, and I can't even imagine this. You talk about there was some coworker there that you were friendly with, and you guys would just sit there and just get hammered every night.
Every night. We would,
like, you get drunk every single night.
Every night. We couldn't wait, and we knew it was bad, but we were just. It was killing me. But it was like my only solace was that, And then the next day I'd wake up, I'd work out still for a couple hours. I would train people, and that night I was just like, oh my God. And I was thinking, if I keep doing this, I'm gonna die. I knew it.
I
knew it
can't
was
even
coming.
imagine you
Yeah.
drinking.
Yeah. I mean, it was real bad. Real bad. There's not a worse feeling, I'm sure people out there know, is waking up and not caring about the day. Not caring if you get out of bed or not caring if you wake, what happens to you. It was worse. I just didn't care. And then I kind of, again, as always, I kind of gravitate towards my son, thinking like, I'm not being a father. I'm just being
Right.
I'm just disappointing him and I'm disappointing myself. I need to get back there. I need to be the father I know I need to be for him. And then I got injured in China on running on these. They have these steep stairs, and they're really, I guess they have little feet or something. I don't know. The real skinny stairs. And I tripped and hit my head, and had to go to the hospital and got stitches. And then I came back, and then a month later I just said I'm done. And the boss I was working with, she was vindictive, and oh my gosh, what not to do.
Well, no, you said that it was horribly toxic.
Oh my gosh, I've never seen someone that toxic in my life. But yeah, it was awful, and that was one of the reasons why, because she just didn't care, and she'd tell stories about people. I mean, it's like this petty stuff. I'm like, what am I doing here?
God, I thrive on that. I love gossip. I love gossip.
So I was like, I got to get back. I got to get back to myself. So luckily enough, I got out of there in time, because if I'd have stayed there for another year, I probably wouldn't have. I wouldn't have come out of it.
And you would have been drinking the whole time.
Oh my God, yeah. It was bad.
Also, you talk about how. So then fast forward a little bit. You talk about how you get into hiking, and obviously still you're working out. You are a good person. Fitness is important. Being a good person is important. But then you start talking about climbing and starting to climb mountains. And you talk about how that's where you feel such peace and such comfort. And you start talking about just being there on the silence of the mountains.
Yeah.
When you're, and like you mentioned, you do a lot of, whether it's solo climbs or first ascent climbs where you're climbing peaks and mountains that nobody's ever been on before, or you'll just do it by yourself and you're up there. And I don't know how long that takes. Is it, like when you lay down at night, or if it's at night, like if you get up early and it's the middle of the night, if you will, and you're going to push yourself to summit, is it just dead silent?
Well, yeah, if the weather,
you can hear wind.
Yeah, if there's no wind, oh my gosh, that's why I love nature. It just, because it doesn't judge you. Everyone in society judges you. Everyone you meet, as soon as you meet somebody new, they judge you on who you are, possibly how you look and all that stuff, your appearance. But when you're in the mountains, it's just nature, and it's just there. And I love that because it doesn't judge you, and you can just take it all in. It's for what it is, and it's beautiful.
Beautiful was the word I was going to use. When you're up there, like you're in Warrenton, but like I'm a total city kid. Mm-hmm. So like stars you don't see a lot of. When you're on a mountain, is it?
Oh my God.
Is it crazy?
It's crazy. When I was in my last expedition in Argentina, I'd go out there at night. It was freezing, but I'd wrap myself up and go out there and just stare at the stars. It was like they're
right on you.
They're right on you. They're right on you. I remember when I climbed my 8,000 meter peaks and stuff like that. It feels like you can go out there and touch it. It's just so bright. I still, every night when I walk, I look at the stars. I was looking at them last night. I'll send pictures to like my mother and stuff like that. Like, here, look at the stars. Look at the stars. Look at these satellites go across. It's incredible. It never gets old to me. Never. I love it.
What was the first mountain you climbed?
First mountain I climbed was Shasta. I climbed it with my cousin.
Right. And that's the one we're going to do.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, we did it without, that's a really good story. We did it without crampons, and we didn't know the route. We went up the side of the face, and we didn't, I had one ice axe. We had trekking poles that we narrowed down, and we were just like climbing up there. And we had no clue what we're doing as we're coming down. People were like, "Did you see those idiots that were on the mountain?" And we're like, "Hey, they're talking about us." But we need to reach the summit. And we camped out at 12,000 feet, and we're freezing. We're hypoxic, headaches and stuff like that. But yeah,
dude, did you think I'm climbing that?
No, we'll do it. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, "Oh yeah, we'll
go ahead and
climb."
say we'll do the pussy route.
I climbed from the bottom to the summit in 10 hours. That whole day, I didn't know you're not supposed to do that. I was just kind of figuring it out.
How long would it take me? How long would it take me?
We do it day and a half. 2 days.
Day and a half?
Yeah, we'll start, and then we'll camp at, I think it's called Camp Helen at 10,000 feet. Stay the night there. Make sure you're feeling good. Next day.
I don't want to be hypoxic.
No, you want to be hypoxic. We'll go up to the summit, come back down, come back to camp, and then if you feel good, we'll walk back down or spend an extra day.
Yeah, because I probably won't feel good.
Maybe. No, I have the plan. I have the plan.
Good, because he doesn't.
Yeah. Well, I know that.
Hey, you know, like sometimes like outside of hotels or like restaurants, they have like that little stand that you like put cigarette butts into.
Yeah.
Do they have those on the mountain, like on the way up? I don't want to mess with nature, but I am going to smoke all the way up and down.
We'll get you a few. We'll bring a few portable ones.
You know, Elliot, they don't need Sherpas on Shasta. No, he's carrying my cigarettes.
Yeah,
I need him for that.
A big duffel bag.
That's my guy, Marlboro Sherpa.
Yeah,
and that's who I bring along. When did you climb? I'm Shishapangma.
Shishimpangma.
Yeah. When did you climb that?
2001.
14th highest mountain in the world.
Yep.
Is that the only time you wrote a note where you felt like you were going to die?
Yeah, that was a tough expedition. I was with another climber, a guy named Dan Mazuris, one of the best American climbers we have, and it was just him and me on the mountain. We didn't see anybody for like 3 days, and we were climbing up towards the summit. It was about 2:45, and that's like usually the turnaround time. So it was really windy. I was looking at him, and we're just like, he's like, "Is it worth it?" And I go, "It's worth it." And then we didn't talk for the next 6 hours, and we just climbed. We got up there about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And by that time, we were already, our lungs were filling up with fluid because every time we'd breathe, it would gurgle. So we knew we were dying. So we got up there, took some photos, and then in a snowstorm, got back down to high camp. And we should have kept going down, but we were so tired. So we got water and hydrated, and then we're lucky enough to get back down the next day. But that's when I started getting my black fingers, was that expedition. I came back down, my tops of my fingers were all black.
Right.
From frostbite.
But in the book, you talk about, like, you wrote out your final words.
Yeah, I always do that before, so I was writing in my journal.
Sorry.
I was
So
writing in my journal.
so when I go to Shasta, I have to write my final words?
No. I did that on Shishimpangma. I always keep journals and stuff like that. So this was my first 8,000-meter peak, so I didn't know what to expect. There were not a lot of people on the mountain. So again, it was still that lack of confidence of like, can I do this? Can I do this without supplementary oxygen? Can I get to the top? I'm climbing with a great climber who's been on K2 and stuff. So I wrote out, if I don't come back, they at least find that and, give that to my, no, I wasn't engaged yet. But yeah, to give that to my family and things like that. So I wrote it all out. Yeah.
When you say you were with this guy and you didn't see anybody else on the mountain,
no,
and you just kind of looked at each other, and then for the next 6 hours you didn't speak. Are you like when you do an expedition? Obviously, if you're by yourself, you're not talking. I get it. But if you're with another climber or a couple people, do you prefer it being quiet?
Yeah, I mean, at that altitude, it's so tough just to take a step. So you don't want to waste time.
You're gonna hate me.
You don't want to take. No, 14,000, you'll be fine. But
no, I'm worried about you because I won't shut up.
No, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I'm sure you have some good stories, so I'll be listening to that. That's fine. No, yeah.
He died talking.
Yeah. I tell you, man,
he
slid down
he
the
wouldn't
mountain.
stop
The whole
talking.
way.
He died from getting pushed.
Yeah, that's right.
Is there a, and I don't want to get too far away from, like, because that the book isn't your memoir. The book isn't all about you, but that's
coming. I've been working on that for 10 years. And that book, when it comes out, is going to be all the stories of all my expeditions, me growing up, living in Northern Virginia, with my friends and stuff like that, how we based life, how we looked at life, and then from there it kind of evolves.
Because the book at its core, but the stories that get interwoven through everything really are very fascinating.
Cool.
But like
Thank
you do talk about if you get back to the essence of the book, it is preparing your body, preparing your head, preparing your heart, if you will. All of the, and not from a health standpoint, but from just the kind of person you are, that whether it's mountaineering or whatever it is preparing yourself to be able to do all of those things as a healthy, good human being.
100%. Right there. You just said it all. It's perfect. Exactly. That's why I wrote the book, was for that reason. The stories I put in there, little bit of stories because I know everyone likes to hear the stories and things like that. But the main part was to do that. It's always for them. How do you better yourself, become a better person, reach for those goals you've set for yourself? How do you go about doing that? Through movement, through connection. I mean,
Right.
definitely we've lost connection, of course, in society today. So it's getting that connection back with other people, and the movement in that process and how that can help you.
And like, there's even a part in there where you talk about like you're at a conference and you're speaking or you've been asked to go to like lunches and stuff.
Yeah.
But not by name, but Leonsis gets a mention in there.
Yeah. That when I came back from Everest,
Right.
I was invited to Tyson's Corner and with a bunch of high tech guys. I didn't know who they were. I was just I was with somebody, and we had a nice lunch and stuff like that. But then I started to figure out, oh, this is how it rolls. Look at your face. It was eye opening.
I hope Ted paid.
It was a learning experience. I don't remember that.
All right, let me do this. Give me a quick break. I haven't even gotten to the documentary yet, but let me do this. Give me a quick break. It's Elliot in the Morning. More with Sean Burch next.
Elliot in the Morning.
Our buddy Sean Burch is with us. He's got a brand new book out, Sweat Working, The Mastery Guide to Revolutionizing Your Life and Professional Relationships Through Wellness. Also, new documentary called Kings of the Forest. The documentary is great.
Oh, appreciate that.
That is really, really, well, you, just so I don't mess it up, the people, the Kings of the Forest, Rauti?
Yeah, Raute.
Raute. All right, yeah, because I want to make sure I get that right. Mm-hmm. It is a nomadic tribe. Mm-hmm. It's 125 people.
Yep.
Where did you first encounter them?
Actually, through a contact in Nepal. He told me, we were working together on the icefall doctors of Everest, and then he said, hey, there's a group of people that they only talk with me, and they move every 2 months. Unless someone dies, they'll move the next day. And they'll call me whenever they're in a specific area. They'll go to town, find a phone, call him, just to stay in touch. He had been in touch with them for like 15 years, and said, hey, I think there might be something here. So I started to investigate it and said, hey, this is great. They don't have any oral history. They don't have any written text about their life. They don't take photographs. So I knew the fact that they're depleting and they're going to be extinct. That's even more so after I filmed. So I was like, I want to do an oral history of the Raute before they disappear. So I went out there and spent a couple of days with them in the field.
And they're not just so we're real clear, it's not an uncontacted tribe of people. But they are very, and like you said, like they'll go to market to sell things and to get things. And I understand that, but they're not a social group.
No, they like to stick to themselves. I wouldn't have even been allowed in there if it wasn't for Hari. That's why I kind of dedicate the film to him, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have even been there in the first place. So they had to kind of warm up to me, which took a while. Things like the drone, that helped.
Oh.
That's when they're like, oh, this guy's interesting.
Because there's no electronics. There's no. Like, nobody's got a phone. No. Nobody's got an iPad. Like, nobody's, like, there's, I don't want to say they have nothing, because they are so happy. Like, they are a very, very happy people. But the two things, when you bring that drone out and they're looking at it like, dude, what are you doing?
It's the first time they'd ever seen something like that. So they're all like, oh, my God, this is amazing.
But also there's some scenes where they're walking by, like they're moving. They're a nomadic tribe, and they're moving, and you could tell they walk by the camera because you get one of these. Oh.
Yeah, no, they're checking it out. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. They like to see themselves, after you videotape them. They like to see.
So you would show back kind of like
some
what you
of
had
them.
done?
Mostly the kids. The kids like to look at themselves. So that was cool. And the grown-ups kind of kept to themselves. They really,
And you talk about how, like you just said, you wanted to do like a history of them before they go extinct. And you talk about how their society is disappearing, but also their ideals are disappearing. So I think, like, the society part, I think I get. What about the ideals part, though?
Well, it's just because of so many outside forces now are coming in. Since I've filmed, they actually have like a government official that stays with them, from what I've read, all the time. And so they have all these outside forces, so they can't really live the life I think they really want to live, and they're seeing it disappear, unfortunately for them. And then a couple of the younger ones have been kind of whisked away by townies and things like that. So it hasn't gone really well for them, especially since I filmed. That's why I'm really glad I filmed. It's only gotten worse, and I think they said within 10 years they think they'll be extinct or at least separated completely.
So that band of 125, if you will,
Yeah,
they won't exist as a band of 125.
that's what they say. I mean, who knows? But yeah, I mean, it's rapidly deteriorating, I think. Just because, again, there's so much outside people coming in now all the time. They can't really live their life the way they feel they want to live it. But they're trying to, they're still trying to they've done it for centuries. So,
like with outside people coming in, is it too hard to resist when they see what, I don't want to say what modern things look like, but just toys or, what, I don't know what to call it, where they go, maybe better isn't the right word because they're happy people.
yeah.
But is it just at some point you just can't resist it?
Yeah, I remember I was in town before. I was waiting for to walk out, and a couple of the kids came into town, and they trying to get me to buy them Cokes and stuff like that. And I think just again the outside things are like, oh, okay, or crackers or something like that. They're not used to having that, right? They're used to having they eat monkey. They didn't get into that. I was trying to get them to talk about that. They hunt monkey through nets, like monkey nets, but they wouldn't let me. I wanted to go on a hunt with them, but they was like, absolutely not. You're not going to do this. But I was able
because
to.
they think people wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, maybe they look down upon them because you're not supposed to do that with a monkey. But yeah, they're the only ones that usually eat monkey. That's their meat. Their main meat.
So there's a one scene in the documentary. I mean, you see it a couple times, but the one that really sticks out where people from the family have gone out to, I'm assuming to go get food, and maybe I'm wrong, but they come back with like a stack of.
It's all water.
Oh, it's water.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. But like a huge stack. I don't even know what you call those things. But there's like a huge stack of like buckets on top of buckets on top of buckets on their head.
Yeah.
I assumed it was some kind of food, but yeah, I mean, it would make sense that it's water.
Yeah, it's the women go out and get fresh water, which was they had to walk a long way when I was with them because it was way, way far away where there was clean water. So they'd bring a ton of them and then they'd carry them on top of their heads. They just stack them up, as you saw and see in the film.
And what is like you said, they move every 2.5 months.
Or sooner. If someone dies, they'll move the next day.
Why?
That's just part of their culture, their religion. If someone dies, they move the very next day. But they move every 2.5 months, and they won't go back to the same area for like another 20 years. It's like an environmentalist type of thing. They know, they use up the resources, and then they move, and then they just kind of do like a big circle around Nepal in certain areas, mostly in the middle of Nepal, and then come back. They'll come back to around that area about 20 years later. But they just keep moving and moving and moving. So they set up, these temporary shelters, and then 2 days, boom, they're gone.
And they said they never fight. They never.
Yeah.
They. If there's a disagreement, everybody sits down. They just figure it out.
Yep, it's equal. Women and men are equal in their decisions and things like that. The guy that I was talking to, he was just the spokesperson, but he was, the de facto leader. But he really wasn't the leader. But he was the spokesperson who was willing to tell me all the traditions and the beliefs of what they. Of the Raute people.
Do you believe? Well, let me back up a step. And I don't mean this to sound negative towards them. What do they do all day?
Sit around.
That's it.
Make food. Yeah. It's if you see in the film, it's becoming kind of dirty. If they stay there for a while, they had been there for about a month and a half. So again, hygiene is not a big thing. It's one of the reasons why they're having trouble.
Right.
It's getting more dirty, and they're bringing outside things in, so it's not as clean sources as well. But yeah, a lot of them just sit around, and like the one thing with the guy playing with his kids, they're just sitting there eating bananas and just hang out each day. And it's really hot, so they'll hang out and talk with each other, and then during the day they'll stay in their tents with their kids and their family. And then they'll come out at night, whether they're cooking rice or something like that. And they go into town, periodically go into town to trade stuff, right? They make the woodwork.
Right.
So they'll go on and sell that. From that, they'll get their rice or whatever, whatever they need.
Because some of the members are wearing loincloths or like almost like a not like a bed sheet, but just like something they wrap around. And then I'm looking at some of them like, you got slides on, bro. Like that's all right. Like you're doing all right there.
Yeah. They'll take it where they can get it, for sure. I mean, if someone gives them stuff, they'll take it. It's not like, no, I can't. they'll take it if someone gives it to them, but they usually don't buy those things. The only money they use from their materials that they sell is usually just for basic like food and for brushing teeth, I guess.
And
things like that, basic hygiene.
Like when you said like they don't do anything, like at one point you're trying to like dance with them or something, and I was like, you can't dance all day. Like that's not going to happen.
Well, that was a special ceremony. And first of all, I don't dance, so I wasn't dancing with them, Elliot. I was filming them dance. God forbid me dancing with them. Put this on camera.
No. This is the electric slide.
Yeah. No, that would not be good material to watch.
Did they like your tattoos?
Yeah, they thought that was interesting.
I was going to say, I bet, because I mean, it doesn't get addressed, but at some point you stick out a little bit when you're like kind of with them.
Yeah, they knew I was coming. 6'4" redheaded guy. Yeah,
but like you're just like you're wearing like you got a backpack and you've got like obviously you had a drone but your arms are exposed. And I was thinking like for the younger kids, maybe for the adults they wouldn't care. But like for the younger kids, I would think they would see your arms and go like, that's kind of badass. Or at least intrigued by it.
Yeah, I'd say intrigued was probably better. Yeah, they're very intrigued. They'd follow me around everywhere, of course. And, I showed that a little bit in the film about how they're following me around and just, making sounds and stuff like that. Again, they would mimic what I was saying, but they didn't understand what I was saying.
What is other than just capturing their history or being able to document if within the next 10 years they don't exist anymore? Mm-hmm. What a horrible thing to say. Like that feels weird to say.
Yeah, it's sad, They live a simple life, and that's one of the things that kind of gravitated towards it. And it goes back to our discussion earlier on mountaineering. Is life doesn't have to be complicated. We make it complicated. You go to the store and you want to get yogurt. You got 20 different yogurts. You only need one. Things get complicated, and everything there is very simplistic, and that's unfortunately deteriorating. And so that's why I thought it was important. I thought I could learn from them, and I did, of course. On again, life doesn't have to be that hard. Just we make it hard on ourselves, I think, a lot of the time.
And it is, but it's funny when you watch the documentary, it seems like it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that type of living.
That's not for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people like, without their phones and having to search for food and go out hunting. Yeah, for sure. I don't know if I'd like that 24/7 either. I just like the simplistic aspect of being in nature. And I think anybody can get used to it if you're put in that position long enough. But yeah, for sure, it's not for everyone.
At the end of the document, let me back up because I wanted to ask you. So, other than just documenting that their existence or a little bit of a history, what else are you hoping to get out of it other than just to celebrate them or expose? Not expose sounds like you're taking advantage of them, but just that these people existed.
Yeah. That's my whole thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm not there to make money. You lose money in documentary filmmaking. I've lost so much money on this. It's the matter of just documenting what I feel is an important component of life, and being on this earth is, hey, these are a group of people. I want to document them before they're gone. I feel it's important, and some other people may not feel that way. I do. I feel that's important, so that's why I was there.
Have you watched the credits to the movie?
The credits of the documentary?
Of the documentary, yeah. So like when it rolls at the end, you've watched all of those?
Yeah.
Atmosphere Drone 8?
Yeah.
You wrote that?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's computer writing. It's not...
Oh, I got all excited. I was like, you're on the soundtrack.
Yeah, I'm on the soundtrack, but it's something I created. I mean, I play guitar and drums, but...
You do?
Yeah, guitar, drums, and bass.
Oh, are you like Nepal mountain drum circle guy?
Everyone gather around. I will now play my guitar.
It's your favorite time of night.
And you will sing along with me.
There is only one river.
As an ode to Everest. No. But yeah, me and my son jam all the time, but I didn't feel, I thought it was too much work to do that. So, through the atmospheric drum thing, which is not really complicated to do these days.
Right.
I did that because I like those steady sounds that I feel are ominous and kind of set the tone of the film.
Sure.
And that's what I did.
Oh, okay. I got all excited. I was like, man, you're on the soundtrack. Look at you go. All right, so we have the book. We have the documentary. Obviously, you're still doing all your fitness stuff and all that. What are you like? What do we do next?
Well, I'm still doing the leadership, executive leadership. I'm still doing film work. I'm working on trying to get an expedition going back. I want to go to the India Himalaya, but I'm having a tough time finding a logistic team. I thought I found one, and then I said, what recommendations do you have? So they sent me a bunch of stuff. So I was looking through it, and I was like, this has kind of been done. I want something a little bit. Can you do something a little bit more challenging, a little something that kind of sets the bar? And then they ghosted me.
What is the?
They stopped talking to me. I'm like, here you go. Here it is again. They just tell me you can't do it or you don't want to do it. But
what is the, like, when you say the India Himalaya? What am I looking at there?
It's the Himalaya, just in India. I've never been to. It's kind of like the reason I went to Spain for one of the film premieres. Is I've never been to Spain, and it's always nice to see your film on a big screen. So I love the Himalaya. I've never been to India. So here you go. Here's two things. It's like when I went to the North Pole, right? I've never been to North Pole. I've never run a marathon. Let's do two things.
Knock those both out together.
Knock those both out. Yeah. So I was thinking, well, I'd love to go to India, the northern part. I've heard some good things about it, and I would love to go back to the Himalaya. I heard there's some really, the Pakistan and India, they kind of have they're bumping heads, but there's some kind of sketchy areas and some mountaineering regions that I was thinking, that kind of sounds enticing. So maybe I'll look. I'm looking into it to see if I can go there. And this would be after, of course, our hiking trip to Shasta.
That's paramount.
That's priority number one.
Is there a good time of year? Like, two things. Number one, is there a good time of year to do that?
Yeah, usually in spring, like May.
Ooh, like April. Not in 2026.
Like
that's right around the corner.
You're talking about Shasta, or you're talking about India Himalaya?
You think you're getting me on the India Himalaya? Like, I'd love to go to India. I love Indian food.
Shasta, we can go all summer. But I like going early because it's more snow. It's easier to hike, easier to climb.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I like snow. Like, I'm good with that.
You learn getting crampons.
Amen.
And the ice axe. I know you love that.
Beautiful. What is do I have to do any pre-training?
Well, you have the book on hyperfitness, which, of course, I know you've read from cover to cover several times. You told me it was on your night bedstand. That you
still there?
Yeah, still there. You look at it every night and just smile.
Beneath sweat working. Like, it's right there with it. No. Like, is there, like, would I have to put in a crap ton of training?
No, I don't think so. I mean, if we could set you on just start out with the walking thing, and we can work up to it. I gotta find out, dive deeper, and what are you doing every day for exercise? You're not doing anything.
You're looking at it
right now.
Yeah, right there.
Like, my feet
donuts.
my feet don't reach the floor, so I do hop to get down. It's like box jumping.
Yeah. No, I think mentally, I think you could do it just mentally. I think you're mentally really strong. I think so. Just through the years of hearing you, I was like, I bet you if I make it stubborn enough, like, hey man, can't do it, you'll be more like, oh. I would
love to go. That'd be a good warm up to get. I would feel good about getting you set for India.
I would love to get you on that mountain and get you to the summit, and then just how you evolve after that, how you look at life. I guarantee you'll look at it differently in a more positive way.
Can I ask you this? Of all of how many mountains have you summited? Like, how many peaks have you been on?
First ascents, I've done over 140. First ascents.
First ascent meaning you're the first person to ever climb that mountain.
140 of those. And then other mountains, I don't know. Many.
Hundreds.
I wouldn't say hundreds, but I've done.
You did 140. You were the first one up there.
Yeah, I thought you were saying separate from the first ascents. I've done the first ascents 140, and then then the other mountains that I've climbed that other people have climbed. I did that volcano, one of the highest volcanoes, and a couple 8,000-meter peaks, a bunch of 14ers here, climbed a bunch of 14ers with my son. So I don't know, maybe 200.
Is there a place on the globe that you've stood that is the most beautiful view of the world?
Every first ascent.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's an incredible feeling to step atop a mountain that no one's ever been. It's indescribable. To me, at least, it is. Like, okay, I'm the first person to view this. I get a big joy out of it. It makes all the hard work, the doubting and going, why am I doing this? This is stupid. Makes it all worth it. Any mountain I climb to the top, it's always that same feeling I get just energizes me. And no matter how tired I am when I get down to the bottom, the next day I'm ready to roll. I'm really tired. I sleep. I wake up. I'm like, let's go. I get so excited about it.
When is the last time you were on a mountain?
A big mountain. I mean, I went hiking. I did some mountains in Spain, but that's
Warrington. When is
no
like,
Spain.
Oh,
but that's not too high. I'd say anything of value. Let's say, for the better term, was the highest volcano was in Argentina.
And how long ago was that?
Year and a half.
Oh, okay.
Year and a half
so
ago.
Not that bad, but
Year and a half ago.
But you're jonesing. Like you.
Oh my
won.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'd go tomorrow to India Hill if I could. I'm just trying to. I'm thinking about actually just going there with my backpack and just like, screw it. I'm just going to go there, no plans, and then just start figuring out mountains to climb.
If you get that hair in your ass and you're like, I have to go during the summer, go. Don't let me hold you back. You go.
We're gonna go in May.
Shasta will always be there for us.
No, we'll go in May, early June. It's not gonna uphold anything that I'm doing.
Dude, I love when you come in. I really do. The book is fantastic.
And it's on sale now, actually, just for a week, because we're starting the promotion, and of course, December, January, and February are the big wellness pushes. So we've just started this kind of campaign to build up the book and get it out there. So it's on sale if anybody's interested on the Google, Apple, Amazon.
Right.
Barnes and Noble.
And the name of the book is Sweat Working. And then there's 5,000 words after that. But if you just Google Sweat Working and Sean Burch, you'll be able to find it.
Yes, sir.
Kings of the Forest, it's a great movie or documentary. It really, really is.
That.
I do. I love when you come in. It makes me angry. It makes me upset with myself, but I love when you come in.
Should I feel good about that?
Yeah, because you know exactly what's going to happen when you walk out that door.
You need this mountain.
I'm going to crush a Boston cream, a side of bacon. You know what? During the commercial, I walked back in. Sean uttered a sentence. I honestly thought I was going to vomit. He and Kristen were talking. He was like, "Oh, I never go out to eat. I've been to 98% of all restaurants in the area.
No,
and if I haven't been there, I've door dashed them. Have you ever door dashed a meal?
No, I've never door dashed.
Can you door dash on a mountain?
I don't have an account. None of that stuff. Nope. Don't got it. Don't have it. Don't have it. I told you, cooking can be a meditation if you let it.
Yeah. You know what? You know what else can? Ordering wings.
Yes. I don't want to go to that side. Because I know that side of me is there. I don't want to ever go to that side, at least for me. But.
All right, dude, I love you. You know that. I love when you come in. King of the Forest is the documentary. Sweat Working is the book. It is on sale. It's out and available now. Dude, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.